Hey guys, welcome back to 94.7 Hits FM. I am here with your future hits artist for September, Ricci North. How you doing?
Great. And how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Happy to have you. I know we're definitely excited, and I'm excited to have our listeners learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. Same here. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
100%. Thank you so much for coming. So, how have you been lately? How have you been doing with everything that's been going on in the world, but also just yourself?
Honestly, it's hard to say because with this pandemic, everyone's living a new reality, a new life. Fortunately for us, we've had a little more time to concentrate on music and perfecting our craft. Shane, Patrick, and I have been really working hard at just pinpointing aspects and kind of polishing up our work. So that's kind of an opportunity we've had lately with what's going on. But also, it's unfortunate for other people too that's been going through some hard times. So we got to also feel for them.
For sure.
We're lucky enough to have had that opportunity. But that's about it. I mean, it is what it is. It's a new reality. So
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It is a very much a new reality. And, accepting that this is what we're living with and finding ways to still do what we love and still enjoy what we can and what we're still left with in a way is very, very difficult to do. So I'm glad to hear that you found a way to still work on your music, which I'm assuming you being here and the way you're talking about it is something that you love.
absolutely, it's music is my life. It's part of, it's our life. As I always include Shane Patrick and everything I do as he is the backbone of the music. Everything you hear as far as our work is him behind the board on the beats. I play guitar and he's always there. We're always there to be creative together.
For sure.
So yeah, man, that's it's a great feeling. It's a positive vibe, and I'm looking forward to what's coming next.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm curious a little bit because it's not something that you see unless there's a story from what I have noticed in the music industry. You keep bringing up Shane Patrick and including him in that, which I love, by the way. I think there should be more of that. I think there are so many good people behind the scenes that aren't necessarily the front and center that work on music and that give just as much, if not more, than the face, let's say, of the project. But I'm curious. Usually there's a story in these instances when this is happening. So how did you guys get together and start working?
Well, that's a great question. We met in high school.
Okay.
And I went to a lot of different high schools. I jumped around. So it was a pretty slim chance that we actually were supposed to meet. So
Yeah.
we ended up meeting and getting to know each other in French class. And I just remember him passing me an earbud with a wire, obviously.
Yeah, back in the day.
Saying, hey, check it out. This is me. I make music. And just ever since that day, we just clicked and started vibing together, making music. And, I find myself really fortunate to have met him. And, not a lot of people know, but he is an artist as well. We do have a song together called Ocean, featuring Shane Patrick.
Okay.
He's leaned towards, production and concentrating on the sound, and it's something that he's concentrating on now. But I look forward to seeing other things happen, new things happen for the future with him as well too. So
For sure.
I won't divulge more information than that, but it's a great musical relationship we have going. So
For sure. And I'm definitely very glad to hear that. And that's very exciting. That is, I can't divulge anymore, is probably my favorite but also least favorite sentence because it's very intriguing but also very frustrating because I'm so impatient. But I love to hear that. And I'm excited that there's things coming in the works. And it's weird how sometimes you're just in the right place and you have a chance meeting that ends up really impacting your life in a big way.
absolutely.
At that point, I'm curious, did you know already that you wanted to get into making music or get into music in that way? Or was that something that you discovered after the fact and kind of through your friendship?
Well, I started music playing guitar, so after leaning towards from rock music to R&B and blues, as you know, I grew into different genres, and finally, when I met Shane, that's kind of where I decided to go to school for sound engineering so that I could become an engineer to be able to record our music and Shane is self-taught. So everything I learned before ever even having an education came from him, and we started recording in his basement and in my basement, and it just all started from there. Because, you know, I mean, to be an artist, it's some people ask me, you know, like, oh, you know, I want to make music, and it's just, you know, this word comes up, and I don't want to have to use it, but it's unfortunate that it's not just about the music, and it's just about everything else, and you just have to know how to promote yourself, brand yourself, and you got to know how the industry works, who to contact, you know, radio trackers, distribution labels, whatever it is, you know. So it's a lot of responsibility, it's a lot of work, especially if you want it to become something that's going to be a solid foundation in your life, and not just a passion, you know. So it's a lot of things to think about. So
and that's the thing about the music industry, and one thing that I've noticed, anything you do in life is gonna be hard, and the hard part with the music industry, from what I've seen, is there's so many different moving parts and so many pieces and people that kind of all affect what goes on, and it's not like other professions where you can practice your craft and do it, and that's the end of the story.
Concentrate on just that.
Yeah, there's so much else that goes on and that's affected, and you know, different people that have different thoughts and different statistics and numbers. Some people are more focused on that, and it gets so much noise that you can't just appreciate the music in a way.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that I kind of had a hard time with myself. Just, you know, there's a point in my life I told myself, I just want to make music, man, you know, like I just want to focus on what I love to do. And, you know, I had to learn to love everything else that I had to do around that too, as well, because I mean, you have no choice, right? So it's, you got to become your own kind of manager sometimes, or your own businessman, and your own kind of, you got to guide yourself, man. You got to, you know.
Sure.
So it's especially when you don't have a team starting out, which I'm fortunate to have now. You know, shout out to Shane Patrick, Stevie White from Higher Rain Music Group. You know, so like that's something that I'm fortunate to have around me. You know.
Yeah, for sure, and I'm sure it must have been great to have that before entering this arena almost of the music industry. You know, you have people that have your back already, so you can kind of go through it, and you're not alone. You have the support for it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I find that super important, and with artists in Montreal nowadays, there's so much talent in the city. You know, that's something that I look forward to seeing a little more when it comes to support for local artists.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. And like that's something that I've seen a lot with Future Hits. We haven't really been doing this for very, very long, but in the time that we have been doing it, everyone always talks about support for other artists, and either they'll mention other artists or they'll talk about the Montreal scene. And I love that about Montreal. I feel like it's all a community in the sense that even if you might not know each other, you understand what you're going through, and you just want everyone to succeed, and you want to help everyone as much as you can, because at the end of the day, if someone else succeeds as a Montreal artist, all Montreal artists succeed. It spotlights our city. It spotlights our talent.
Exactly.
You know?
To see someone else succeed that is close to home, it's a great feeling, you know, rather than be envious feeling. You know, so it's that's something that you're definitely pinpointing. It's great to see local talent, even it could be even local painters or any of the arts, you know, to see them shine and have some recognition. That's just great, you know.
100%. I wanted to take some time a little bit to talk about your most recent single, Downtown, which was released on August 7th. For any of you that are feeling the same way that I do, that wasn't that long ago, even though it feels like the world is spinning in such a slow pace, but that was very recent, and I really like the song. I've listened to it quite a few times, and I just wanted to talk to you about it. Yeah, for sure. That's one thing I will say. Like, when I like a song, like, I will say it, because that's very important, and it's very important to show love to, especially for me. Music has been such a big part of my life, and it just, anyway, I'm not going to go on a rant about what I think about music. I want to hear about your story with the song.
Definitely. Well, this is a song that Shane and I have created. I think the beat was created, I think, almost a year ago that we had started it. And it just kind of bloomed ever since. You know, we had put some guitar over it. We had to put some synths. You know, we were just kind of creating a vibe that was a little bit new and not really what you're used to hearing on the air nowadays. It's kind of, you know, it's mellow. It's R&B. It's cool. It's relaxed, easy listening. You know, as far as the meaning of the song, I really wanted to get into that feeling of downtown nighttime chill vibes, and kind of, you know, you never know what opportunities can arise when you go downtown at night. You know, it's kind of like, you know, Montreal has a great city and great ambience. Yeah. So it's just, I kind of wanted to get that feeling out there and remind people that, you know, we do have a great city. You know, even with this pandemic, you know, with the streets being empty and bars not being open till 3 anymore, it's kind of different. But I'm looking forward to that vibe just growing again and being the way it used to be.
Yeah, for sure. And the great part about heading there is it's an event, and, you know, you take the time to go there, and anything can really happen. Yeah. And I think that can apply a lot to what we're going through now, you know, like, enjoy it. Life is an event. You never know what's going to happen. Take the time to enjoy it, experience everything you can, just like you're going for a night out downtown.
Yeah, exactly, you know? Man. Yeah, you got it.
I love that. Oh, that's awesome. As a West Islander who goes downtown and has to basically plan like a month in advance to go, like, I feel that a lot. Yeah, for sure.
I could feel that too.
I'm curious, you mentioned in the beginning kind of working on some music. What can we see from you, if you're allowed to say, what can we see from you coming up in the future?
Well, now we're working on an EP. So we're working on a body of work. I'd say, you know, around 7 to 9 songs. Okay. We're not sure exactly when we're going to plan to release it, as we're still really trying to perfect the craft. But I will be dropping singles regularly, as I have been doing. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing the reaction to how people like what we do. As far as the EP goes, you know, we're really trying to make something different. We're not trying to go too mainstream as much as that's what gets on the radio and that's what catches people's attention. We're kind of respecting the fact that we like what we do, we like the art that we do, and even if it's 100%. A little different, we kind of have faith that people will like it. And, you know, even, I mean, there's so many bands that were denied by so many different record labels saying that, oh, well, this will never play on the radio, but, you know, you never know until you try and push. So.
And it's the passion that people connect to, and sticking with what you want to do, people will notice. Absolutely. You know, it might not be the entire world, it might not be the day one, but people notice that, and it will spread like wildfire when people get that and feel that from you, you know? Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Well, that's very exciting to hear, and I definitely think you guys should all keep an eye on Ricci North on anywhere you listen to music, anywhere at all, to listen to his songs that are already up, but also songs that are coming. You guys heard it. There's going to be a lot of new music coming. Before we end off, I want to ask you if there's any message that you want to put out into the world, anything you want to say to anybody that might be listening.
You know, oftentimes we find ourselves feeling stagnant after working so hard to succeed or get somewhere. And, you know, we always have that feeling of kind of just letting everything go and giving up. And one message I could say is just don't give up and continue working, continue trucking, continue moving forward, because opportunity is right around the corner. And, you know, time, you know, you don't choose time, time chooses you. So that's something that you have to believe in, and you have to have faith that if you continue working hard and you continue moving forward with whatever you're doing, you don't have to be in music. It could be in any art or any form of just trying to succeed, trying to climb that ladder. You know, the end of the ladder or the next stage is right around the corner. You just can't see it.
For sure. Yeah. No, I think that's a great sentiment, and I hope that people live by that and listen to what you say and kind of take that to heart, you know. You never know where the next step's going to take you, but could be something great.
Yeah,
Might as well go find out.
absolutely. Yeah.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, Vasily, thank you for having me.
It was really great talking to you. Like I said, guys, please check out Ricci North on anywhere that you listen to music. And keep an eye on 94.7 Hits FM. We will be playing your music all month.
This is Ricci North, your future hits artist for September. You're listening to Montreal's hottest music, 94.7 Hits FM.